welcome to church with you. Come and stand and sing with us.
Your house, your place, I pray becomes
What's going on, Church Online? Man, I'm so excited about today, and I'm so excited that you are here. Hey, if we haven't met yet, my name is Eric, and man, me and my wife get the privilege of leading church with you and being the pastors here. And man, we couldn't express how grateful we are that you would jump on Church Online with us. So hey, do me a favor right now, real quick, not gonna take a lot of time. Hit that little connect card button, right? Jump in there, give us some information. I'll promise you this, man, we're not showing up at your house when you're not expecting us. We're gonna give you our hassle-free guarantee. We ain't spamming your inbox with a whole bunch of emails. Come on, we're not texting you, calling you all the time. All we want to do is know that you spent your Sunday with us, give you a little bit more information on how you can get more connected at Church With You. Hey, if you are a Church With Youer, man, we're going to jump into a time of giving. And can I tell you, man, your generosity is creating a space for life change to happen week in and week out. I'm telling you, we are in the 30s right now on the amount of people that have said yes to a relationship with Jesus in 2021, and that's because of your generosity. So right now, we're gonna do that. So take a second, click the button, click give, go online, do that, text the number, jump on the app, give that way. Man, we want you to be a part and know that you are an incredible impact on the lives of the people that are around you. Man, I can't wait for service today. Are you ready? Are you ready? Come on, raise your hand in the comments if you're ready. Raise your hand in the comments right now. Come on, this is you engaging right now in service. So lift your hand, come on, right now. Do the virtual hand that you are ready to jump in. I'm ready to jump in to today. I'm excited about this series that we're calling Known. I think it's gonna do a whole lot for our relationships with each other and our relationships with our family. So right now we're gonna jump back in, join the rest of our church right now for the service.
With us again. I saw Satan fall like lightning. I saw darkness run for cover. But the miracle that I just can't get over, my name is registered in heaven. Give Jesus a shout for that. I believe in signs and wonders. I have resurrection power. Still the miracle that I just can't get over, my name is registered in heaven. I'll see you forever.
This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony.
Come together, sons and daughters, bought with blood and washed in water. Sing the praises of the Spirit, Son, and Father. Our God will finish what He started. Our God will finish what He started.
This is my testimony from death to life. His grace rewrote my story.
know if I'm not dead, then God's not done with me, right? Let me hear you sing this out as loud as you possibly can. Because if you're still breathing, God's not done with you, right? Sing this out as loud as you can. Celebrate the work that He's doing in your life this morning. Celebrate that by singing out to Him, helping Him fall in this place and reach lives all around you. If I'm not dead, then you're not done. Greater things still to come. Oh, I believe I'm not dead, you're not done. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe I'm not dead, you're not done. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe I'm not dead, you're not done. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. Sing out your testimony this morning. This is my testimony from death to life. The victory of my story. I'll testify. Jesus Christ alive. I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. This is my testimony from death to life. Grace rewrote my story. I'll testify. Of Jesus Christ the righteous. I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. Give Jesus a shout this morning. What we've seen you do, oh God of wonders, the power has no end. The things you've done before, in greater measure, you will do again. 'Cause there's no prison walls you can't break through, no mountain you can't move, all things are possible guys have a seat and check out church news.
Good morning. But first things first, he's the realest. That's Hilton.
And this is none other than the famous Anthony Brown. That's
Anthony.
Anthony.
Welcome. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And share a moment. Share a moment.
All right, so guys, listen, first things first, we won't be before you long. But tell them what's going on, what is it? February 19th.
February 19th is Daddy
Daughter
Dance.
Yeah.
We call it Triple D.
Triple D.
Up in here doing the
Tickets are live, written is out, okay? It's gonna be at the Enterprise campus. Tickets are available now. All right, guys, so that's on February 19th. Then on February 21st. Well, yeah, 21st.
Let's go in order.
Yeah, let's
go in order. Like, all right, we got the 19th, Daddy Daughter Dance.
Order.
February 21st is Child
Baby
Dedication. There you go.
Or Baby
Child
Dedication. That's right. So that's going to be going on February 21st. So if you want to get your crumb snatchers back to the Lord, sign up to make sure you're able to do that.
He's not going to keep them. You will have them back after
You
the
will
service.
still have to continue to pay for them.
You will
and keep them alive. Okay?
Yes.
Because God paid the ultimate sacrifice, so we ain't doing none of that no more.
Yes.
We're living sacrifices.
All right, so 19th, Daddy Daughter Dance. 21st, Baby Child Dedication. Then the 28th.
Wait. Or the Child Baby Dedication.
Okay, yeah. Then the 28th, February.
We got
Bam.
Baptisms.
Man, I've been waiting to come back and say bam, bam.
Okay, all right. I'm
baptism.
Are you gonna do the BB baptism?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Triple B.
Triple B, baby. Yeah.
Backstreet Boys. No, that's BSB.
February 28th, we got
bam,
bam,
baptisms. So if that's your next step to do baptism, sign up.
Our Bam Bam baptisms are better than this previous halftime show we had for the Super Bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Bye. That's all we got.
Morning, church. How y'all doing today? That's awesome. Hey, I'm glad this microphone is working right now. I was getting a little worried. I was like, I'm going to have to yell this entire time. Can y'all hear me? Yeah? Okay, awesome. How is everybody doing on Valentine's Day? Doesn't sound that great. Y'all don't seem to be too excited about that. Hey, we're going to mention that like 47 times today. So if you have not done something for your significant other on Valentine's Day, like, you're going to have to do something now. You know what I mean? So there's a dude in here right now who forgot it. You know there is. There's a guy in here who forgot it was Valentine's Day. I've got some help for you, okay? So we got this thing. We got a free gift out there. If you didn't get that free gift, you can go get that free gift right now. I don't know if they'll give it to you. I don't know if it'll work. Fill out a Connect card. If you're not brand new, you might still be able to get a free gift. And boom, Valentine's gift from us at Church With You to whoever you want to give it to. Hey, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tyler, and I serve as one of the pastors here at Church With You, and I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be speaking on Valentine's Day, but can I give you a heads up, give you a little warning? If you came today looking for a lovey-dovey Valentine's Day message, my bad. My bad. I didn't come prepared to give you a love message today, but we are going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about relationships today because we dove in last week to this series that we're calling Known. We're calling it Known. And what it is we're diving into relationships and trying to figure out how we can have deeper, longer lasting relationships in an otherwise shallow world, right? Because otherwise, our world is pretty shallow. And we kicked that off last week. So last week, we talked about technology and how technology is great. And technology has a purpose and a place. It has disconnected us. And we are feeling disconnected, although we are more connected than ever. We're more connected than ever to all of these people through Facebook and Instagram and all these different outlets, but we're still disconnected. Because here's the deal. You and I, we were created to have face-to-face relationships, right? We were created to have face-to-face relationships, not ones while hiding behind a phone or hiding behind a computer. We were created that. And me and you, we were created to be known and to know others. But here's the deal. The thing that we end up knowing about others is the story that they portray online. We end up seeing the story that everybody puts online, and the thing that people know about us is the story that we decide to put online. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Is I want to talk to you about your story. What's your story? You see, we as people in 2021, we try to portray ourselves as being perfect. We're just perfect. We've got the perfect life and we've got the perfect situation and we go on the best vacations and we have the best life and everything is just incredible. But to be honest with you, if we really dig deep down, it's not that perfect. You see, we put on social media that we have the perfect life and the perfect everything, the perfect family. But to be honest with you, our family photos only look perfect because we got like 14 Instagram filters on it. You know what I'm saying? We got lo-fi and he-fi and hi-fi and all these different filters making us look better to portray a story that's not necessarily true. And that vacation that you posted about, you went on that vacation. You did. It was a blast. You swam with the pigs. It was incredible. But you're still paying for it 3 years later because you charged it on a credit card. That's the part that nobody knows. That's the story that nobody knows. And I believe that we all have a story. We all have something in our life. Something that we don't really give out on social media, that story that we kind of hide. You know what I'm talking about? That part that you don't like to talk about. In fact, can I just have y'all play along real quick? So if you, and you don't have to yell it out, don't yell out what you've done or anything, that'd be weird. But if you have messed up in life, if you have messed up along the way at some point, if you've got something in your life that you regret, something in your life that you don't want others to find out about or that you hide from the majority of people, show of hands, how many people's got something like that? Yeah, y'all look around the room, that's pretty much everybody. That's pretty much everybody. Everybody has that something, that story, that thing in their life. Did you know that there's companies out there that actually help you get rid of that? Not like they can't make it so it doesn't happen, so it never happened. It's not like Men in Black and they're going to, what's it called? The neuralizer? Something like that. Like forget it happened. No, they don't do that. But let's say that you got in trouble, for instance. Let's say you got in trouble and you got arrested and something happened. And now your name, if you were to Google your name, it comes up in Google search results against what you did. So your name and the bad thing you did, it's like the first five pages of Google. Anybody can find it. So there are companies out there that exist to be able to eliminate that. And how they do that is they create stories that are good about you. They try to find things that are good about you. So they write articles about you where you're volunteering at church on the weekends, where you're going to the homeless shelter, where you're doing all this good stuff. They write articles about you, how you won 1998 spelling bee. You were the champion. And they do all these little stories, and what it does is it drowns out the bad. So it takes that bad thing and it pushes all the way down. And it pushes it down in the search results. So if somebody Googles your name, they see all the good stuff first. They can still find it. It's still there. But it's kind of hidden. They see all the good stuff before they see the bad. And to be honest, when I heard about that, these businesses, these reputation managers, because it's real. When I heard about that, I was like, man, that's kind of weird. That's weird. But to be honest, isn't that how we live our life anyway? You see, we take this thing that we have in our life, this story that you all raised your hand about, and we bury it deep down, but we highlight all the great attributes, all the great things about ourselves. We try to push out all the good things about ourselves and hide the one that we don't want anybody to know. And that's what we do. But see, I believe that if we want to have lasting relationships that matter, then we need to start connecting with people by sharing that story. We do. We've got to start opening up to people and sharing that story and sharing a little bit more about our life and connecting with people. How many of you still got friends from high school? You're still friends with high school friends? Yeah, that's a lot of people. Okay. Elementary friends, middle school, all that stuff. Do you know why it's so easy to have a relationship with those people? It's because they know all your junk already. Like they grew up with you. You grew up together. You went to prom together. You went to school together. You got arrested together. Like you did everything together. And being a friend with them is just effortless because you ain't got to impress nobody. You don't have to put on a front or do anything with those friends. It's just effortless. So why is it that that's effortless, but then a new friend is not? That's because we don't want to share our story. We don't want to connect with them on that level. We don't want to talk to them and say, hey, this is a little bit of dirt about me that you didn't know about, right? We want to show them all that other stuff. We don't want to connect with them because they might get too close and they might not look at us the same way because it's not exactly what we put online for the world to see. But I believe that we got to start sharing those stories, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is sharing those stories and sharing those connections, because I believe that stories provide a pathway to friendship. Stories provide a pathway to friendship. And there's nobody I know of better in the Bible who was good at telling stories other than Jesus. Come on, if you read any of the Gospels, if you read anything about Jesus, Jesus was a storyteller. Like they called them parables, right? And parable just a fancy word for story. And by the way, like somebody needs to give me, I need the word story in the bottom and have a story counter of how many times I say that word today, because I feel like it's already 58,000 times that I've said that word today. So y'all, somebody count for me. I need to know. But Jesus was good at telling stories because he said that it connected them. You know, when he told a parable, it would connect people and it would help us understand things better. So that's what he did. So today I want to look at the parable of the prodigal son. It's a story that he told in Luke chapter 15, starting in verse 11. And I want to try to dissect this parable so that we can draw some things out of it and apply it to our life today. It's a lot of words. It's a lot of verses. Bear with me, all right? So let's go. Jesus continued. There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger son spoke to his father. He said, "Father, give me my share of the family property." So the father divided his property between his 2 sons. Not long after that, the younger son packed up all he had. Then he left for a country far away. Now, I just want to stop right there. I want to stop right there because here's the deal. If my son comes to me like that, if he comes to me like that and says, hey, I need you just to go ahead and give me your money. No, that ain't happening. Like, I ain't dead yet. You don't get that. This is still mine. This ain't yours. Inheritance is when I leave, because to be honest, when I hear that, what it says to me is, hey, Dad, I kind of need the money and I'm okay with you dying. So I need to get out of here. Give me my half and I'm a jet, right? That has nothing to do with the message, by the way. I just thought I'd share that the guy's the jerk. So pull that next verse back up. Then it says, there he wasted his money on wild living. He spent everything he had. Then the whole country ran low on food. So the son didn't have what he needed. He went to work for someone who lived in that country. That person sent the son to the field to feed the pigs. The son wanted to fill his stomach with the food the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. Then he began to think clearly again. He said, how many of my father's hired servants have more than enough food? But here I am, dying from hunger. I will get up and I will go back to my father. I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and I have sinned against you, and I'm no longer fit to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. Now here's what I love about this part right here is because at this moment in time, he has gotten to a place in his life where he is beaten down. He has been dragged through the mud, literally, with the pigs. Like he is to a point where he has nowhere else to turn. He is starving. And he has to realize that he is living his story right now. He is in that messed up moment. He's realized, oh no, I've done something. This is his aha moment, right? It's like, oh yeah, this is on me. I've jacked this all up. And I believe that there's somebody in this room right now who is in that moment too. There's somebody. Somebody's going through some tough times right now. You're going through something right now that you don't think you're going to make it out of. You've got this thing in your life and you have no idea how you're going to get through. Can I give you some encouragement halfway through the message right now? It's not over. This is not the end of the story for you. It was not the end of the story for him. It's not the end. This is the beginning. Because this is the part where God gets to come into your life and he says, oh, yeah, you finally realize you can't do this without me? Yeah, let me come in and help you now. See, that's the moment that we have to have, the moment where we own our story. You've got to own your story. Just own it. Because your story is unique to you. Listen, and I want to talk to followers of Christ real quick. I realize we probably have some people in this room who have not saved yet, haven't met Jesus yet, and that's okay. I need you to know that you are welcome here. But I want to give some thoughts to somebody who follows Christ right now. And that's the fact that your story is unique to you. As you are trying to share your faith, somebody can dispute anything that you got to say. They can dispute anything. Anything that you tell them about the Bible, you share a verse with them, you tell them about Jesus, they can say, oh, but he didn't really live. They can dispute that. They can. And you're going to have to try to fight your way through that, but they cannot dispute what's happened to you. They can dispute everything that's happened in their life. But as you tell your story and you say, okay, yeah, but tell me how this happened. How I was living this way, and I had this thing happen, and there was no way out. But then I found Jesus, and then there was a way out. So you tell me that. They can't dispute that. There's no argument to your story. So your story is unique, and you've got to own it. You've got to own it. You've got to accept it. Let's keep reading. Go to the next verse. So he got up and he went to his father. While the son was still a long way off, his father saw him. He was filled with tender love for his son. He ran to him. He threw his arms around him and he kissed him. The son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer fit to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattest calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. This son of mine was dead, and now he is alive again. He was lost, but now he's found. So they began to celebrate. The older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing, so he called one of the servants. He asked him what was going on. Your brother has come home, the servant replied. Your father has killed the fattest calf. He has done this because your brother is back safe and sound. The older brother became angry. He refused to go in. So his father went out and begged him. But he answered his father, look, all of these years I've worked like a slave for you. I have always obeyed your orders. You never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But this son of yours has wasted your money with some prostitutes. Now he comes home, and for him, you kill the fattest calf? My son, the father said, you are always with me. Everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad. This brother of yours was dead, and now he is alive again. He was lost, and now he is found. Listen, that's powerful stuff right there. That's powerful stuff right there, and I love it because you got to imagine. I want you to picture the son at this moment. He's in a rough place, and he's finally owned his story, and he's decided that he's going to come back, and he's going to admit to his father what's happened. But can you imagine how scared he is? How scared of how he's going to be judged? How his father's going to think of him? What his father's going to say to him? Can you imagine kind of the fear that he's feeling in his life? Because he doesn't want to share what he's done. But what happens when he gets there? Not only does the father see him, picture it for a moment. He's coming over the hill, and the father sees him. The father doesn't even wait on him. He doesn't even wait for him to come home. He runs to meet him. He's so excited that he's home that he runs to meet him. And when he gets him, he gives him a big hug, and he gets excited. He's like, you're home. You're back. Thank God my son was lost, but now he's found. But then the son, he's like, no, but Dad, hang on. Just a minute. You haven't heard anything yet. Like, let me tell you what's happened so far. Like, I've lost everything. The inheritance, everything you give me, all the money's gone. And then the father interrupts him. He's like, no. Like, chill out. I don't care about that stuff. Bring a robe. Bring some sandals. Bring a ring. Come on, Alexa, play some DMX. It's a party up in here. Like, we are going to go crazy today. If you're watching online and your Alexa just started playing DMX, I'm sorry. Sorry. But for real, he had to do that. He had to surrender his story. He had to surrender his story. First, he had to own up to it, and then he had to surrender his story to his father. And here's the deal. Whenever he told his story, because I thought about this when I was reading this, when he told it, he should only have to tell his father and his brother. Okay, that's the two main people in this, his father and his brother, which doesn't seem that bad, right? It doesn't seem that bad because your father's going to forgive you. I know he didn't think, he was scared, he was nervous. He even said he was. He said that he thought that he was going to have to be a servant. His father was not going to accept him back into the family. He's messed up so bad, he's going to have to be a servant. Maybe he can work for his dad and get some food. That's what he thought. So his father surely is going to accept him, right? It's his dad. You would accept your children back no matter what they did. They're your kids. Now, his brother's probably pretty bitter about it, but that's the only two people that have to know about what I've done. But I want to show you something else. Let's go to this next verse. It says, this son of mine was dead, and now he is alive again. He was lost, and now he is found. And then it says, so they began to celebrate. So they. You know what they means? Everybody. They began to celebrate. That means that everybody knows his junk. Everybody. The servants. Everybody who worked there. Every single person knows his story now. Everybody. But here's the deal. Whenever he came and he shared what he had did, and everybody knew what he had did, he came to them with a lot of shame. Oh, I've messed up. I've got this shame in my life. I've got this thing that I've done. Come on, you felt the same way too. You've got some shame. You don't want to share your story because you got shame. But as soon as he surrendered his story, as soon as he did that, the shame just melted away. It melted away from him because his father accepted him. And everything came off of him, and his shame turned into strength. His shame turned into strength. And that's because I believe that your story has the power that turns shame into strength. Sharing your story, having people see what you've been through, it's the power for you. I want to talk about you. It helps you turn all that shame that you have into strength because you don't have to be shameful anymore of what you've done. God's forgiven it. You don't have to be shameful. But it's turning that shame into strength because now you don't have to walk around with your head held low and your tail tucked. You can walk around with strength because you know you've been forgiven. And everybody knows you ain't got to hide anything anymore. It turns your shame into strength. That's why I believe you just got to share your story. You just got to do it. It's not fun. I get it. But listen, we're starting groups this week. And you know what happens in groups? People talk. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to talk. You're supposed to compare. You're supposed to let things out. Share. And that's the perfect opportunity for you to share your story. It's the perfect opportunity for you to come in and talk to people. And talk to people for yourself. Because just like the prodigal son, he was able to release his shame and build himself back up with strength. And that's what sharing your story does for you. But not only that. Not only is it good for you, but it's also good for everybody else. Because here's the deal. As you're sitting in this room right now, as you're watching online right now, there is somebody in this room who has the exact same story as you. They do. They do. They have the exact same story as you have. You went through this time in your life that you had problems. You went through an addiction to alcohol and you overcame it. But can I tell you right now, there is somebody right now in this room who is struggling with alcohol. Someone. But they're not going to get over it until you share what's happened to you. They're not going to get through it until you say, hey, I've been where you are right now. It's going to be done. It's going to be over one day. You're going to get through this. Here's how I got through this. There's somebody in this room who has had 3 marriages, and there's somebody in this room who is currently thinking about divorce. And you're there to tell them, listen, stick with it. I'm telling you, stick with it. You can do this. Love is a choice. It's not a feeling. Stick with this. You can do it. There's somebody in this room who has had that affair. They've had that affair. And there's somebody in this room who's going through that right now. They're thinking about it. And you're the person who can say, no, I've been there. Don't do it. Don't do it. So you have the power to do that. You have the power to share your story. And I'm not talking about you see them on you meet them for the first time. You're like, hey, guess what? I'm an alcoholic. Like, don't be weird with it. But when you go to connect groups, when you get in a one-on-one conversation with somebody and you hear them pouring their heart out to you, and you can say, hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you about something. Because you know the ball pit that we have out there, we talk about it all the time now, but it's the invite ball pit. So you take it, if you invite somebody, you can throw a ball into the pit, right? So when you invite somebody, you throw a ball into the pit. But can I tell you that an invite is just throwing a ball into a pit? That's all it is. But when you connect your story with an invite, it is no longer just throwing a ball into the pit and hoping that they come. Because when you can connect your invite with a story and say, hey, listen, I've struggled with this too. Let me tell you how I got through it. You need to come to church with me. It's no longer just a ball being thrown into the pit, but it's a person who now is in a seat. And they get to experience the same thing that you experienced. And that is a lasting relationship with Jesus. It is. So I want to give you that opportunity today, with every head bowed and every eye closed as the band comes back up and we get ready to close out. I want to give you an opportunity to change your story. Because for some of you, you're going through that story right now. And you're having that struggle right now. And you don't know if there's going to be a way out. And I'm here to tell you that there is. Because one of the best stories in the world is the fact that there was a man who came down from heaven in the form of man, and he was also God, 100% man and 100% God, some 2,000 years ago. And he realized that there was no way we could live this life and have a relationship with him and get to heaven one day without him coming down here. So he did. And he took everything on the cross for you. He died on the cross for you. He said, I'll take your sin, I'll take your shame, I'll take the things that you've messed up on, the things that you struggle with, and I'll take it all on me, and I'll die for you. Because that's the only way that you're going to make it to heaven one day. And the only thing that you have to do is to accept that fact, to accept that story, that Jesus did that for you. So if you've never done that before, if you don't have a relationship with him, I want to give you that opportunity today. Every head is bowed, every eye is closed, nobody's looking around. We're not going to call you out, do anything crazy. I just want to know from your hearts to God, your heart to God's, that you're making that decision right now. So on the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand if that is you. So if you're ready, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, lift them up. All right, you can put your hands down. I want to lead you in this prayer. If that was your hand, if that was your wish, if that was you, I want you to say this prayer right there where you're sitting. Say, Father, forgive me. I have made a mess of this on my own. Come into my life. Renew me. Make me brand new. Separate my sins as far as the east is from the west. Come into me and make me brand new. I don't know how to do this thing on my own. I don't. But I know that through your power and you speaking into my life, that I'm going to be convicted in such a way that I can make a change. So thank you for dying on the cross for me. Thank you for shedding it all for me. Come into me and make me brand new today and start a brand new life. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Come on, guys. Can we celebrate all the decisions that were made today? Listen, if that was you, if that was your decision, if that was your thoughts, if you want to tell somebody today, all I want you to do is take that Connect card. We want to walk you through this. Take that Connect card that's in front of you. On the back, there's a little box that says, I committed my life to Christ today. If you'll drop that off at Next Steps today, they want to celebrate with you. They want to help you along the way, and they want to walk you through that today. So if you will, stand with me. We're going to close this thing out. Let's sing All We Have today.
I'm not dead in your
Mind you, real quick, you have to engage. Come on, to be known, you have to engage. And we want you to do just that. And the best way to do it is online connect groups. So no matter where you're watching from, different country, different state, right down the road, because of COVID, listen, we want you engaged in groups. So right now, there'll be a link thrown up with groups. Click on that link, jump in one. We want you to be known as you continue to know the people that are around you. Man, we can't wait to have you back next week. Man, I'm excited about what God's doing. Have a great week. We'll see you back next Sunday.